Hi guys, it's been a while since I've been able to record. I have been extremely busy, and then plus with my illness and then Jamie's illness, we have just had a lot going on, so it's great that I'm finally able to record. The boys are actually sitting in hot tubs, so I'm outside and able to talk for a few minutes while I watch them. And I had promised a video about our Make-A-Wish trip with Jamie. Well, I should say Jamie's Make-A-Wish trip that we were able to enjoy with him. And I wanted to kind of share the process of how you go about applying and how long it takes and then things like that. And then there's also a few other organizations I kind of wanted to talk about as well. So first things first, you can apply for Make-A-Wish if your child is considered having a critical illness that is life-threatening, or if they are terminal. So what that means generally is your child has a rare disease that could at any time take their life, or they have a cancer, or they have a severe heart issue, or other situations along those lines. It is generally a case-by-case basis. So if you think your child may qualify, it never hurts to ask. And then there's two ways to go about being able to apply for Make-A-Wish. You can either have your provider, or sometimes the providers or social workers will apply for you, or you can, hold on bud, or you can apply on your own, or someone else may apply on your behalf as long as you're aware they're applying. So like a friend, your parents, a grandparent of the child, etc. So then once you have applied for Make-A-Wish, the very first thing that happens is obviously you'll get email confirmation from the Wish coordinator stating that they have received your application, and they're going to work on seeing if you qualify for a Wish or if your child qualifies for a Wish. That process can take anywhere from a few days to a month or two. It solely depends by each chapter, and each chapter is by state or region. So we live in Indiana, so we are with Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky chapter. So there's 3 states in our chapter, and while they have a couple coordinators that work on together, for each of the states, I think it was about a month before we got our letter stating that Jamie had officially been approved for Make-A-Wish. And for us, we actually had talked with his doctors. His doctors thought Jamie would qualify for a Wish because of his situation with his aneurysms in his heart. He's considered critical. He's life-threatening, so that is why he qualified for his Wish. Once you get that letter stating that you have officially been approved for your Wish, they will also let you know that they're going to be working really hard to get you your volunteers, your Wish volunteers. Your Wish volunteers are the wonderful people that volunteer to help create the Wish for the child. So they're the ones that are behind the scenes that come to you, and they're going to ask your child what they want to wish for. Sometimes they do wish parties before they leave. They'll do, sometimes it's just it varies chapter by chapter. So I want you to know, don't ever expect something from your Wish volunteers, because it's not. Every child's wish is different. It solely depends on what the budget is allotted for. Sometimes businesses will specifically sponsor certain children. So say a grandparent works for a big business and that business knows that that grandchild is going to be getting a Make-A-Wish, they can contact Make-A-Wish and say, hey, we want to sponsor a party for that child. And then they'll have a big party and it's called a send-off party to send off that child before their wish. So hold on, buddy. I'm making a video.
When you're done talking, can you give me my goggles?
No, we're not doing goggles in the hot tub tonight.
Why, please?
No. So, so sorry, I kind of jumped ahead. So let me back up a little bit. So once you have your volunteers, it'll be a couple. So there's always two that will come. They will contact you to make an appointment to visit you, whether either at your home where you're comfortable or at a local business, so that they can talk to the child, they can talk to you, get to know each other, and start talking about what your child wants. And then they will always ask the child what they want. It'll never be able to come from the parent. Granted, if your child is not able to speak, they of course will make that work with you, try to see what the child likes. Do they have a Mickey Mouse doll that makes them excited, or is it a Paw Patrol doll that makes them excited? Then they're going to go geared towards Disney, and of course they're going to take the parent's opinion as well. However, if the child can talk, they're not going to take into consideration anything the parent says. It is going to be solely what the child wants. So even if the parent says, oh, well, he likes Hawaii and he's been wanting to go to Hawaii, but if the child says, I really, really like Mickey Mouse and I want to see Mickey Mouse, or I want to go to WWE, or I want to go to, I'm trying to think what I think my son's other wish was Hawaii, or I want to go to the Bahamas, then they're going to take down those three things. They always take down three things that the child likes, and they will take it as first, second, and third, because they may not always be able to make that first wish come true. They always try really hard to make that first wish happen, but sometimes there may be an issue. If the dates that you need or to travel on, say your work will only let you travel January 1st through January 7th, but the Disney trip that was the number one slot your child wanted, they can't make work January 1st through January 7th, but they can make WWE work January 1st through January 7th. That's what's going to happen. They're going to eventually contact you and let you know that your child's, that your child's WWE wish is coming true. So the time, Harley, no. The time between your application, when you apply, to when your volunteers come to your home to get your child's wish, it greatly varies by chapter. We personally took a year from the time we were applied to the time the volunteers were in our home. However, I will say, once my son had his wish in, it moved very quickly. We weren't expecting it. Normally, quick wish trips go for those that are terminally and need fast trips because they may not make it. However, dates were open, and my son had a very specific wish that they made ours happen way faster than we expected. So, I'll go ahead and tell you that my son's wish was actually to meet Captain Jack Sparrow at Disney. So, and these, when the child has something specific, like I want to meet Jack Sparrow, or I want to meet Elsa, and it's going to Disney, those are called enhancements. So and not all chapters do enhancements. So I want to make that very clear. Sometimes your child they say I want to meet Mickey Mouse. They will get that wish, but they may not get that one-on-one time with that character. So, because that's considered an enhancement. While your chapter will definitely try to make that happen more than anything in the world, it doesn't always happen. For example, my son, like I said, had wished for Captain Jack Sparrow. Well, Jack Sparrow from my understanding, has officially left Magic Kingdom. So we were getting our wish. However, we had to, one, get to Florida to meet him. We got an hour one-on-one time with Jack Sparrow. It was amazing. But because Jack Sparrow was officially leaving Magic Kingdom, they had to make that time happen fast. And then now he's gone. So if another child was to wish for Jack Sparrow, they obviously will not be able to make that enhancement happen. However, they may enhance the trip another way. Some of the kids want, say they want to go to Hawaii to swim with dolphins. Well, they're going to send you to Hawaii, and then they're going to give you the day to go swim with dolphins. So that's that enhancement. They're going to pay for that extra activity, or they're going to set you up with that famous person or that character, whoever it is. So like I said, our trip came pretty quickly. We met my son's wish volunteers in July, and then they contacted us in the end of July and asked if we could go on our wish trip in September, the end of September. So it went very quick, and that was because Jack Sparrow only was there at Magic Kingdom for Halloween, so we only had that small window. And yeah, and then he was leaving, so they wanted to get us in while we had that opportunity, and they made it work. It was fantastic. I did want to specifically say, like I said, there are things that some chapters do and some chapters don't do. So some chapters will fly you to your destination. Some chapters don't. Some chapters will rent you a car and have you drive, and then they give you gas money and hotel. Some chapters will, I was trying to think of the other thing. Some chapters will give you a lot of spending money, and some chapters don't. Some chapters have a set amount that they give per person, per day, etc. That is, how it's supposed to be, and then that's what you get for your trip. The chapters vary so vastly, and depending on what the wish trip is, that no person can say specifically that, oh, you wish for this is what's going to happen. It doesn't happen. One thing that we didn't get, and it was mainly because we didn't even know it was an option at the time, because the wish granters do not voluntarily tell you. Some chapters offer extensions, and what that is if you are, so for example, we were going to Disney World from September, I think it was September 21st through 27th. If we wanted to, say, go to the beach after our trip to Disney, we would have asked our wish granters, can we extend our trip? And then they would just change the flight another 3 or 4 days out. However, we would have had to been responsible for our food, hotel, whatever it was on that extension. However, that flight home would have been the same flight covered by Make-A-Wish. I hope that makes sense. But like I said, extensions vary chapter by chapter. Some chapters allow it, some chapters absolutely do not. Some chapters allow family members to go. So Make-A-Wish only covers family members that are within the household. So if a wish child wishes to go to Disney, and they have a brother and a sister living in the home, but they have a stepbrother or stepsister through their dad in another home, they're not going to be covered. They only cover the wish child in the home and the siblings within the home. If you are a divorced parent doing a wish trip, one of two things happens. You split the trip, so one parent goes half the trip, the other parent goes half the trip. Or one parent signs the right away and that other parent gets to go the whole time. And then if they want to bring their spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, it's my understanding, but this may be chapter to chapter, that they would be responsible for paying that person. So say I was a divorced individual and I was taking my children on the wish trip, and my ex-husband agreed to let them go, then I would have to pay for my boyfriend to go with me because it's not biological in household, whatever. I hope that made sense. Otherwise, if any of this information doesn't make sense, there is a fantastic Facebook group. It's called GKTW, Give Kids the World, Wish for the World, Give Kids the World, I think. So Wish for the World, GKTW, Wish Kids, or something like that. If you start to search those names on Facebook, you'll find it. I'll link it below. But this Facebook group, even if your child's wish is not Disney, they have fantastic tips and information. Like, I was so lost when I began this process. I had no idea. I didn't know nothing. And I would Google and search, and I couldn't find anything either. But the Facebook group gave me a lot of my information. So those women are so knowledgeable. Men too, but they're very knowledgeable. They will help you with all your information. If your child has a feeding tube, or you're traveling with bags of medicine, they have the answers for that. Because sometimes, even though our wish coordinators and our wish volunteers do as much as they possibly can, and we are so appreciative of them, they are overloaded. They do not have enough volunteers, so they can't always answer the questions right away that we may feel that antsy need to have that answered right now. So the Facebook group is a great way. However, always confirm the information with your chapter, because it varies chapter by chapter. And I know that I say that a lot, but it's just because I really want to reiterate that, because there are so many people that I see post in the group that went on their wish trip with their child, and it's kind of sad, but and then they come back and say, well, my child didn't get that, or my child didn't get to do that. Well, your child may not have got to do what that other child got to do, but I'm sure your other child got to do some very magical stuff, because there was things, I've seen lots of stuff that my kid didn't get, or we didn't get to do, which was completely okay, because he got some amazing, we had an amazing trip. It was great. And if you're not familiar, if you do a Make-A-Wish trip to Disney World, for any little ones out there, if they don't know, if your child's researching their Make-A-Wish trip, Disney has a whole resort for Make-A-Wish kids called Give Kids the World, and this place is magical in itself. You could spend the week at Give Kids the World and not even go to Disney and have a blast. So it's a real magical place. It really just changes your heart to be there and see everything. So it's gonna make me cry just talking about it. Anyways, so I really wanted to just talk about that. And if anyone has any questions in regards to Make-A-Wish, please leave them in the comments, and I will definitely answer them. It is 8:29. And, I did want to go over real quickly some other organizations that I think are very special, other than Make-A-Wish. And if your child doesn't qualify for Make-A-Wish, maybe they might qualify for one of these other organizations. I don't know all the details to them, but I will link everything below. So there's an organization called Icing Smiles. Sorry, my kids distracted me. Icing Smiles, and they do a birthday cake. And fun cakes. If you just want a fun cake, or your child needs a fun cake, they'll make a cake for you, and it's completely free. The only thing is you have to give them plenty of time. If your child's hospitalized, they will send the cake to you in the hospital. If they're not in the hospital, you do have to pick up from the bakery that they've ordered your cake from. And I'm talking, these are not like basic like sheet cakes. These are like amazing, beautiful done cakes. So and then once you're a part of their family, you're a part of Icing family for a long time. Like, they just sent Jamie a bunch of cookies for his birthday, and we weren't expecting that at all, so it was really awesome. So Icing Smiles, and then there's a chapter called A Kid Again, and it's A Kid Again. And what that is they are a organization, and this is based in Indiana and Ohio. I don't think they have other chapters in other places right now. However, there are so many other organizations that are similar to this. So just look in your area, organizations for sick kids, etc., and see what's around you, because I'm sure they're out there. Or you can always look up a miracle network or miracles network, like the healthcare miracle network. And a lot of them can give you organizations around in your area that are specifically meant for sick kids, and they can assist you in getting some assistance. So a Kid Again specifically for our area is they give an event to our kids once a month that we get to go to that is completely free. So we don't have to worry about paying for parking, paying for tickets. The only thing we'd have to pay for if they're not giving us food and drinks there is obviously food and drinks. But this organization is so thankful for them, because when you have medical bills, lots of medical bills, they add up and you don't always have the money to pay for things. So it's great that we have that ability to be able to go out with our family once a month and take our minds off stuff. And of course, Jamie gets to be a kid again for the night. So that's really fantastic. So if you're not in Indiana or Ohio, look up other things in your area, because I'm sure they're out there. The next organization I was going to talk about is Chive Charities. They are an organization. They mainly work with the military. So if you have PTSD, and I'm talking adults, not just children, they will try to help you out. So if you send an application to them, give them your story, you obviously have to be able to sign a release of information so they can contact your physicians, and then they'll try to see what they can do for you. They actually were the ones that purchased Jamie's medical spa. Well, it's a hot tub basically, but it's got it actually has magnetic things in it so that it can help his pain, because he has a lot of pain, and that helps him. He gets in it and then his legs don't hurt so bad and he can walk, because sometimes his legs hurt so bad he can barely walk. So that was a blessing from Chive that they were able to do that. They also bought his AED, which is super expensive, and that just gave us so much peace of mind to be able to have that. And then they purchased strips for his Coumadin checker. It's kind of like a blood glucose checker if anyone's diabetic, but his checks how thin his blood is, and those strips were $100 for like 8 strips. It was crazy. So they purchased us, I think it was like 6 or 10 boxes. Like, it was crazy. So we are so thankful for Chive Charities. They are an amazing organization. I will link them down. So like I said, adult kids, they're very big with military families. So definitely check them out. And then I should have made a list and read off the list. And if I think of any more, I'll make another video. But these places have just really blessed our lives. I don't know what we would have done without the support and the friendship that we have made within these organizations. Because if you're watching this video and you're sick or your child's sick, you know that you kind of take on the world to take care of everything, and then there's these organizations out there that try to help you not take on the world with everything. So it's nice to have that, and we're very thankful for it. Anyways, I know there's so many more organizations, and I was trying to sit here and think about them, and I'm pulling a blank. But I will link anyone else down below that I think of. And of course, like I said, search your area. Oh yeah, of course, I almost forgot the biggest one. Flying Horse Farms. They are located in Ohio. That's the camp my son goes to. It is strictly for sick kiddos. They hold different camps all summer long for the sick kids. So like 1 week they have oncology, 1 week they have heart camp, 1 week they have hematology. That way the kids are in their own little group. They also hold a siblings week, so the siblings of the sick kids, so the siblings can just go, no sick kids there, and they just get the whole week just to themselves to be able to have fun. So if you don't live in Ohio or Indiana or somewhere, you can travel close to Flying Horse Farms. They are a part of Serious Fun camps or Serious Fun Network. Like I said, I'll link it below. But there's camps all over. So you just have to look and find them. Like there's networks out there. There's people out there that want to help you. You just got to do the research and find them. I actually personally really want to start an organization of my own to help with medical bills, because that's the only thing, which there are some out there that, you know, help with medical bills, but a lot of them go through their funds so quickly, like they're never open to help. So, anyways, I lost track again. Yeah, so I'll link any other organizations and information that I have down below, and then just make sure you're searching your area to see what's available to you. And I wish you all good luck. If you're finding this video because you need Make-A-Wish, I'll be praying for your family. I always keep all the children in my prayers. And I hope you guys have a magical trip if you do do a Make-A-Wish. And make sure you guys just have a blast. And let me know if you've been on a Make-A-Wish trip. Let me know if you're going on Make-A-Wish. Let me know if you need any more information or you want a video on something else. Let me know. I'll be happy to do it. Anyways, I've talked enough. I'm just being crazy now. So I'll let you guys know. Go. So I'll see you spoonies later.